Yeah,
I was,
I think it really is not about believing anything that I say.
yes.
I think you, I think that one has to look at it through one's own lens. One has to filter all things through themselves, and one has to examine in their own life the things in which they have pursued as a how have they gotten to where they wanted to go, and and I'm not saying that so that you can examine it and see that it hasn't, and therefore you can drop the how. I don't. I'm not interested in what anyone comes to a conclusion about. Like, I
Mm.
don't care. Um, I know that's the way it is, but I also know that I have no interest for anyone to believe me, or to teach that to anyone, or to convince anyone.
Correct.
It is imperative that you look at these things on your own and to examine them for yourselves, and never in your life take anything on faith from anybody, myself or anybody else, and to burn all your books, and for you to be your own teacher.
Correct.
That's what
So
I
I
would.
guess should
Go ahead.
I?
Go ahead.
So I guess what I'm trying to understand is when I hear something new, I obviously I don't believe it right off the bat. I take it and then I put it through how I understand myself to learn the something, and then I kind of evaluate it, and then I think, if my mind is if my mind feels this is kind of like taking me in a direction that it feels correct. This feels not correct, but this feels like more of the direction I'm going in, because in and of itself there are no benchmarks for things like this. There is no, okay, you're here now. I'm
That's correct.
wondering what that feeling of even inside of myself, if I'm endeavoring for something and the only benchmarks I have, I can't even call them benchmarks, they're inside of myself. What is that? I don't even want to say the word arrival at something finally. There is not that arrival. There is there is some.
The arrival occurs when the things that used to arise no longer arise.
So I will see some sort of external fluctuation
Well,
based on my.
the things that arise are not external, though. So, for instance, if you notice that X thing makes you angry, and then after a while you expose yourself to that thing, and all of a sudden anger doesn't arise anymore. And the key there is that you did nothing to try to make it not arise. You didn't use a technique. You didn't use nonsense. It naturally didn't arise. That means the cause for its arisal disappeared.
Inside.
Therefore, inside you, therefore, you arrived somewhere that was genuine, that was true. And the reason that it was true was because you did nothing to make it not come about.
Okay, that's what I wanted to hear.
Yes.
Okay,
Good
thank
question.
you.
Good question.